listen to me as I slow it down. Can't tell yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it.
Hello everyone, Nicole Kriegel here. So I was just getting ready to do this video. I was doing my hair, I was doing my makeup, and like any other normal human being, I was talking to myself, kind of like going over the topics of what I wanted to say in this video. And I thought it would just be so much easier to push record, put on my makeup, and do like a get ready with me type style. So we're gonna do it. So I wanted to talk about bodybuilding prep and periods. So is it normal to lose your period? How to get your period back? What to expect with bodybuilding and periods? And is there a way to go through bodybuilding prep without having to lose your period? So basically we're just gonna have some girl talk today. So as I dive into this, I am a coach and not a makeup artist for a reason. So do not try to copy any of my makeup techniques because they're probably gonna be all wrong. So let's hop right into it. First things first, is it normal to lose your period when you're doing a bodybuilding prep? And I guess I should say this isn't just regarding bodybuilding preps, this is regarding anyone that is going through a big weight loss transformation or a big like body transformation. It's all relatively the same thing when it comes to like regarding your periods and stuff. Is it normal? Yes, in the sense that it happens to a lot of people. Is it necessarily good for your body to lose your period? No. While I put this on, let's talk about why it happens. So first thing to know why you lose your period in a bodybuilding prep, you need to know, first of all, like, why do you get your period? So you get your period purely because your body is telling you, hey, you can have a baby. So when you lose your period, it's basically the same thing. It's your body saying, hey, you should not have a baby right now. I already messed up my makeup routine. I literally did not put any primer on. This is starting off good. Next, I'm gonna do my eyebrows with this pencil. So why your body thinks that you are not in a good place to have a baby. Like I said, there could be like several factors. One is typically you're going through a huge body change. So you're dropping a lot of weight really fast. And no matter what we are doing, our body's #1 priority is always survival. And if we're losing a whole bunch of weight pretty quickly, it's thinking, okay, we can't keep this going because if I keep losing weight, I'm gonna eventually die. Little does it know, like, we're doing this for a reason, we're totally fine. But it's just kind of like raising red flags within our body. And honestly, that's why we hit weight loss plateaus, because our body is adjusting its metabolism down, trying to like stop us from losing weight. And eventually, once we get to a point where it's like, okay, raising my or lowering my metabolism is not working, it's not doing anything, I need to resort to other actions. And so it basically shuts off your menstrual cycle, because it's like, I would rather take the energy of not producing a menstrual cycle and put it towards something else. Because honestly, like, having your period, it does burn calories within your body. Even though it is a pretty like minuscule amount, your body is still going to take that extra step of turning it off to put that energy towards something else. Especially because if it's recognizing, hey, I'm not in a good spot to have a baby, it's kind of like, well, what's the point of wasting this energy? Another reason why you could be losing your period is due to hormone fluctuations. Usually this isn't the biggest reason why. Like, yeah, when you diet and when you go through a big transformation, your hormones are going to fluctuate and be a little down-regulated, but it's not usually to that much of an extreme. If you've been dieting for a really long time or hopping on and off diets or doing PEDs or whatever, there is a chance your hormones are really messed up, so that could be affecting it. But for the average person who's doing a bodybuilding prep for like the first time, typically your hormones are not gonna be that off. And the last reason why you could be losing your period is purely because your body fat percentage is way too low. As women, we need a certain body fat percentage to be optimal and like to be healthy. And so if we're about to step on stage, we are not anywhere towards that like healthy amount of body fat we need. Like we are way below that. Okay, eyebrows are done. We're gonna move on to a little bit of eyeliner. So now that we know why we lose our period, now we can kind of understand what we can possibly do to not lose our period during prep. Now, am I saying this is 100% a foolproof way to keep your period during prep? No. These are just ways that you can decrease the risk of losing your period. Ultimately, it's just gonna come down to your body. Some people just don't lose their periods. Some people lose their periods really easy. Personally, for myself, my first 2 preps, I did not lose my period. And then my most recent prep, I lost my period, but I did get down to a lot leaner of a state. And obviously I had more of like a dieting history at that point. So it made sense why I lost my period this last time. Going on to eyelashes. So first thing you can do to prevent losing your period during prep, one is to just not go through as a drastic of a body change. So then that way you're not putting as much stress on your body. Now, does that mean to not get stage lean? No, that means set yourself up better so you don't have to drop 20 to 30 pounds to step on stage. So this is where having a good off season comes in handy. So if you only have 10, maybe 15 pounds to lose to step on stage, your body's not going through such a huge change. It's not gonna be put under as much stress, so it's gonna be a lot less likely to lose your period. Now, let's say you are doing your first bodybuilding prep, so you just regardless have 20 to 30 pounds to lose, or let's say you already went crazy in your off season and there's no going back. That doesn't mean, oh, you should never do a bodybuilding prep. That just means you might have to approach it a little bit differently if you are really trying to keep your period. So instead of just dieting once and in one shot losing all of that weight, you can technically break up your prep. You can take a little period where you lose, let's say, 10 to 15 pounds. So you got that first chunk down, and then you go into a reverse. You're boosting that metabolism, you're repairing any like hormone fluctuations you have, and then hold at that maintenance period for a while, and then go into a second cut where you drop the last 10 to 15 pounds and you actually get to stage lean. Now, you can totally avoid this 2-step process by just handling your off season right. So if you've already competed and you've already been stage lean, when you go into your off season, just make sure you don't gain a whole bunch of weight back. That way you're still healthy, you still have that like optimal level of body fat on you, but you're not overdoing it, so you're like shooting yourself in the foot for when you have to prep next. Okay, so let's say you've already lost your period and now you are in a scenario where you're like, okay, I want to get my period back. What should you do? Essentially, you are just going to reverse everything you did that caused you to lose your period. So you lost your period because you had to lose a whole bunch of weight. So does that mean you have to like gain all that weight back just to get your period back? No. But like I said, if you are truly stage lean, you might have to gain a little bit of weight back. But they say for women, of course this depends on like your height and everything, but you need at least 15 pounds of essential body fat. Now keep in mind, when you step on stage, you are not 0% body fat. You're really, really low in body fat percentage, but you're never at 0%. So let's say you are at 8% body fat. But to get to that 15 pounds of essential body fat, you need to get up to 12% body fat. So you're still very lean at that point, but you have at least enough of that essential fat on you. Putting on some bronzer right now. And then what goes hand in hand with that is essentially a reverse diet. So to lose weight, you had to bring your calories probably super low. So a reverse diet, we're just doing the opposite of it. We're slowly raising those calories up. So we're fueling that body again. We're nourishing it. We're giving it what it needs. And then along with that, we're also going to be adjusting cardio as well, just because during prep, more than likely your cardio increased, and anytime you do more cardio, that's naturally going to just add more stress to your body. And during this point, if you're trying to get your period back, we are trying to relieve as much stress as possible. And I'm not just talking about like mental stress, I'm talking about like the physical, internal stress as well. Same thing with the food. Does that mean that you just have to completely cut out cardio right away? No, you want to slowly decrease it. Just because if you cut out anything right away, your body's gonna freak out. Like, it's gonna want to gain weight. And like I said earlier, we want to try to minimize that weight gain, because if you're wanting to compete in the future, or if you just honestly want to like maintain a leaner physique, you don't want to gain all of that weight back, because otherwise you're literally just putting yourself back in the same spot you were before. Okay, little contour on the nose, and then adding a little bit to the eye. And then last thing, a lot of people ask, is there like certain supplements to take that help with getting your period back? And to answer that, honestly, there's gonna be nothing better than just simply going through a good quality reverse diet. Like, food is literally your best tool, because it's going to be the most natural way. Now, if you know for sure you are deficient in something, supplementing it will help, but unless you got lab work done, you don't know what you're deficient in. You're literally going to be guessing and shooting in the dark, and more than likely you're either going to be wasting money or you're going to be messing up more things than actually causing it good. And that's why a lot of bodybuilders get lab work done. So then that way you know for sure what the issue is. So if you have the extra money to spend, I would highly recommend to get your lab work done after you're done prepping, so that way you can truly see on the inside what's going on and if you have any issues. You can think of it as like a lawnmower. If you have a broken lawnmower, but you don't know how to fix a lawnmower, and you just say, oh, well, I'm just gonna throw some gas in it and that's gonna make it better. Well, if you don't know what's wrong with that lawnmower, more than likely putting gas in the tank is not gonna fix it. You know what I mean? That was a really random analogy, but that was the first one that I thought of. And last but not least, we got some highlighter. So all in all, is it normal to lose your period when you're in bodybuilding prep or going through a huge transformation? Yes. Is it the most healthy thing? No, but there are things that you can do to try to prevent it from happening. Like I said, some people, they are just blessed and they don't lose your period. Other people, they're really susceptible to losing their period. And that's why you just do bodybuilding preps the right way, and you take proper time in off season to heal everything. Now, from my personal experience, I lost my period, I believe it was like in the beginning of this year when I was doing my third prep, and then I stepped on stage in March, went into an off season immediately after that, and then I did not get my period back until July, I believe. So it was several months of going through a reverse until I got my period back. Now, if you've lost your period for a really long time, or you've really dug yourself down, it might honestly take you a lot longer. So just make sure that you are not rushing the process, you're taking your time, and as long as you're doing the right steps to replenish your body, it just takes time. But this is the finished look. Honestly, I don't think it's too bad. I did a decent job for talking while doing all of this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little girl talk about periods and bodybuilding. If there's anything I didn't cover that you have questions about, feel free to just leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them for you guys. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will chat with you guys later. Bye.
Listen to me as I